So, subject 85 Honda XL600. Got this with basically a whole nother parts bike, and it started at the guy's house when I picked it up. They had trouble starting it, but they put starting fluid in the carbs and it fired to life and then died. And he said it just doesn't, he can't get it to keep running. And as I pointed out to him, I said, take a look at the fuel line. I mean, how was any fuel getting to the carbs? So the first thing I'm gonna do is check that. Also see that the choke is sticking on. I'll try just putting a new fuel line on it and fuel filter and see if the carbs fill up. Definitely got an oil leak. Yuck. Supposed to be a gasket between the cylinder head and the valve cover, and I don't think he put it in there, so that's probably why it's leaking. What else? It is a street legal bike, and I'm curious if this 12-volt battery that I have hanging around that doesn't fit any of my other bikes, if it will fit this. So I'll see if I can set it up in the stand and I'll try it. So I think I'll keep it simple because I really don't know what to do with these videos. But I'll learn. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and, well, that looks good. I'll just go ahead and try attaching this battery. I know it's charged. Turn the ignition off. So these bikes will run without a battery. There's three circuits to the alternator. One runs the coils, the ignition, the other runs the headlight, and the third runs a 12-volt system to charge the battery and do the turn signals. Okay. Is any of this coming out? Yeah. All right, so got my voltage on there. Well, look at that. Okay, I have a right turn signal going and I have a left turn signal going, and I'm giving it right. Okay. And how about left? Left is not doing too good. Horn. Horn is not doing too good. Anything on here? I still have that. I still have that. There's no indicators, so I don't know if that's hooked up or not, but it looks like at least the fuse is good. Nothing. All right, bit of a mystery there. Unfortunately, nothing seems to work, but hey, that's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay. Quick little test. The gas is on. Is it on? What does that say? I can hardly read it. That says on. Gas is on. Let's see if there's any gas in the float bowl for this. There's two carburetors. Why they needed to put two carburetors on this, I don't know. Okay, there's gas there. All right. How about this one? The second one, I don't know if I can get in there. Well, I don't know if I can get in there. So I don't know if you can see. Let's see, where's the camera thingy? The second carburetor is this, and I had the screw turned out for the float bowl drain, and nothing's coming out. So there's no gas in that one. Seems like there's gas on the left one. So I notice as I'm looking at this, you can see here's the right-hand carb. I don't think it's focusing. There, you can see how it's just about closed. All right, if I open the throttle, it opens up. That's idle. Now take a look at the other one. See if it'll show it. Can you see it? It's not in focus, but you can see how that one's way open compared to the other one. So that's definitely a problem. That'll be bad carb sync. So, what should I do? I guess I'll take the gas tank off since I'm gonna put a new fuel line anyway, and I'll check and see if I can mechanically sync them to be close. Okay, it's pretty easy to pull the carbs off, especially because they don't have the collars on there. I'll have to go find those. But okay, so here you can see the problem. I also don't know what this is hard to do with one hand. If you look at this one on the left here, this one, there's a hole at the top. It seems like it's supposed to be there. It's not a crack, but I've never seen that before. Okay, so you see this one is pretty open, and this one is totally closed. And if you look at the idle adjuster, it's not even touching, so it's not even at idle, and this is stuck open. And I think it's because the way that these two flanges were put together. I think this left one does this side, and this one here does this other side. Let's see if I can do it. I don't think I can do it independently, but you can see if you turn the left one, it has to hit this bump, and then the other one, then the right starts going up. And I think that this thing here, this little tab, belongs between these two instead of in front of it. And this is the fine adjuster for between the two. This here, I'm not sure what that is. If that's sucking vacuum, then it obviously needs to be capped off. This is probably a vent. This is a vent here because it poured gas all over me. Oh, the choke is not all the way in. I'll have to screw that in. And so I'll play with this and then I'll come back. So I took the carbs right on off to work on them over on the bench. Nice and clean, no problem there, not really. But I did notice that this is a set of carbs that he had given with it. This is the same arrangement, and I think he said that he got another set of carbs because these are all gummed up or the jets are stuck or something like that. So this has the same arrangement. You know, this is off. So I wonder if it idles on the left carb, and then the right carb maybe is only for, you know, when you've got the throttle open. And I'm thinking that might be the case because if you look at the bottom, if you look at this, this is the idle airspeed adjuster screw. There's only one. If I look in this cavern, I don't know how to turn the light on, but whatever. You'll have to trust me. If you look down in there, there's nothing. And on this one, there's also nothing. So there's only one airspeed screw. And also, if you look at the design of the port, this one has a curve to it, and this one has nothing. It's totally flat. So I'm suspecting that it just idles on the left, and the right side is just for when you're getting on it. That seems kind of weird, because wouldn't that where are the valves? I mean, there's 4 valves per cylinder, 2 intakes and 2 exhausts. Would that put more stress on the left-hand side than the right-hand side? I don't know. That's kind of weird, right? Because the right-hand side valve would be opening and closing, but it wouldn't suck anything in. Wouldn't that make it run weird? I don't know. Well, I'll keep poking around. Yeah, so more evidence that it idles off the left-hand carburetor. There's an idle pilot jet in the left carb. There's none in the right. So the right-hand car doesn't have an idle circuit. So at least that simplifies things. Yeah. All right, so carburetor's going back in. Okay. It's 2 ports. I gotta line them both up, and then wiggle. Oops. Okay. Not in there. Piece of wood. Pry it in. Okay, that one's in. There we go. There you go. That'll just be $4. So it goes from here to here. It's not a fantastic design, I don't think. But because I know the tank is probably rusty inside, I'll put this filter in and we'll make it longer, the fuel line, so it doesn't kink. Okay, so let's see, make it go out here. And when that air box is actually hooked up, this will be in the way, so this is not going to be the final solution, I don't think, but we will make it do. I don't like this, but try it. Anything coming out? I don't see the gas in there. Reserve. Okay, so it was out of gas. Now, let's check whether or not gas comes out of that right-hand carburetor. Crack this drain screw. Yep, there's gas. Okay, so now there's gas in there. And just double check that there's gas in here. I'm sure there is. Yep, good. Okay, so now we have gas. I know we have spark because it started earlier today. All right, so these things suck to kick. You kick them like 5 times and you'll be winded. So we're gonna give it every ounce of help that we can by spraying a bunch of starting fluid into the carb. If I can get to it. Can't really get to it. Okay. Let's hope we don't have a fire. It's got gas in it. The choke works.
I don't think it's gonna work.
Well, thank you for being so optimistic.
Oh. Yeah, I'm very optimistic about
Let's try
this.
a little more starting fluid. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of wants to go. This is what the guy said it did. So this is where he stopped basically. Probably gets sick of kicking it. So it won't just start. It's something going on. I will have to check the timing, I think. I probably should check the compression to see if it's getting enough compression. And I'll double check the valve timing. And in order to do that, I'll double check the valve lash to see if maybe a valve is over tightened, because I've seen them before when they'll barely start or they'll run only on choke, and as the bike warms up it'll die and you won't be able to get it to start. and it acts just like a fuel starvation problem. Acts like a fuel starvation problem, but it's actually something with the valves. The valves are too tight. So it's possible that when they put it together, they did the valves too tight. It's possible they didn't get the valve timing right, lining up the crank with the valve timing. So we'll see, but that's enough for tonight because I'm exhausted. So thank you very much for watching. How would I say it in Dutch? I think it's bedankt. What does he say? Bedankt at today's video, and tot morgen.